Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. We are simulcasting Facebook and YouTube. So take the time out to be kind to one another and be very respectful, fam, because disrespect will not be tolerated. On this platform, we are firm but fair. We do not tolerate trolls. Why? Because trolls are hoes. So as long as we follow those simple rules, fam, everything will be okay. Now, let's go into the comments real quick and see what they're looking like. What's up, County Hodge? OG, man. What's up? Just Tired. Martina Curtis. Dreadhead. What it do, Che? What's up, what's up, what's up? All right, well, got a lot to talk about, fam, so let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. So, Donald Trump, your president, did not receive a warm welcome when he showed up for the Commanders game today after flying in on Air Force One. Boy, got a really rough welcome. The crowd booed him emphatically. Yeah, man. I mean, it popped off as soon as he popped up on the Jumbotron. It was on and popping. Boy, they was booing that boy. They booed him so bad, they say he cried in the car, man. Yeah, they say he cried in the car. Trump became, here's a little fun fact. Trump became the first sitting POTUS in nearly half a century to attend a regular season NFL game as the Detroit Lions visited the Commanders in Landover, Maryland Sunday. But that fun historical fact did not impress the fans. They tore him up, fam. Without further ado, let's get to the first round of BOOED. Okay, and here. So you suck. Before I play his speech that he gave, I want to bring you up to speed on what this was all about. So the Washington Commanders on today, they had Trump to come out, and Trump was booed when he appeared on the jumbo screen and was introduced at Northwest Stadium. The booing occurred during a halftime salute to service ceremony where he swore in new military service members. So people were booing for a number of reasons. One, you got the political polarization, the divided political climate, particularly in Maryland and Washington, D.C. area, likely contributed to the boos. You got past conflict with the NFL. Trump had a problem with the players kneeling and standing up for themselves. He wanted them to get back to slavery days, bow down, kiss the ring, shut up, and run that football, catch that football, make a tackle. Hey, shut up, listen to us, get paid, be happy that we freed you. Another reason, there's been a recent stadium controversy in the months leading to the game. Trump threatened to block construction of the new Commanders Stadium unless the team changed its name back to the Redskins, which they agreed to do. And reports also surfaced that he wanted to name the stadium after him. So he wants the new stadium to be named after him. Not because he contributed anything. He didn't give any money to build the stadium or anything. He's not a historical figure. He's not somebody that people want to look at his name every time they walk into the stadium or look at his face. But because he had the power to block the construction of the building, and he didn't, even though that's his job as a public servant to execute such a thing, he felt that his name should go on the stadium because he pretty much just did the job that he was elected to do. And then you got the government shutdown. A lot of people are hurting right now financially, and it's his fault. Remember, Trump said while he was on the campaign trail, if there is a shutdown, then it falls directly on the president. He said people are going to be looking at the president. They're not going to be looking at who the head of state is. They don't care about who the Speaker of the House is. They don't care about all these other people. They're going to be looking at the president for leadership, and it is up to the president to bring people together. That's his words before he became president. Okay? And then you got the timing of the ceremony. Some observers criticize the timing of the booing during military enlistment ceremony, though others viewed it as a protest against Trump's presence. And that's what most people viewed it as. They saw Trump, they booed. The people really they don't like him. In fact, some, I would say, has went as far as saying, hey, we hate this guy. Yeah, they were, get out of here, get your rabbit, out of here, man. The owner of the team, boy, he must be getting greased up really good, because he knows how the fans feel about Trump, but he still allowed him to come in there and speak. He would not have done that for anybody else. But Trump got him by the balls. And he's going to bow down and kiss the ring like a whole lot of these dudes who are billionaires have been doing. How much money do you need to be to regain stewardship of your soul? How much money do you need to not compromise your integrity or your manhood? How much money do you need? How much money does it take? Because people always say, well, if I had this amount of money, I wouldn't do that. If I had this money, I wouldn't have to do this. I wouldn't have to do this. How much money do you need? How much money does it take to be your own man? Obviously, it takes more than whatever amount of billions that the owner of the Commanders has. And here's the speech that they booed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. Please raise your right hands. I, and state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That boy can't get past those boos. Look at him. He's overthinking it right now. He should just go ahead and just, all right, I'm out, man. Get up, get me on up out here. But he's overthinking it. He's like, man, these motherfuckers booing me. What can I do to pay them back? Can I send some drones over here and just kill everybody that's booing? Is it a way for me to single out the Democrats? How can I hurt the Democrats? How can I get them? What can I do? He wants some revenge right now. You can read it in his face. Look at him. We're going to run that beautiful bean footage back again.
45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. Please raise your right hands. I, and state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith, so help me God. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Look at the few D riders in the front. I swear some of these dudes will eat Trump up before they eat their own woman up. That's right, I said it. That's right, I said it. Some of them got that type of attitude toward him. Like he can do nothing wrong. They love him more than they love their mama. That's weird to me. Love them more than they love their children. It's weird to me, man. It's just weird how dudes go more crazy over him than women do. And I can understand women, I mean, not regular women. I'm just saying these women are, they're backwoods, But the men go more crazy over them than the women do. The men defend them harder than the women defend them. It's interesting to me. I've never defended a guy that I don't know that hard. I mean, in order for me to defend a man that strongly, I'd have to know him personally. I'd really have to know him in order for me to defend him like that. I'd have to know him personally. And I'd have to know also that he would defend me that hard. These guys can't say that about Trump. They know if it came down to it, he'd throw them under the bus. But guess what? Some of them would be happy to be under the bus as long as Trump throws them under the bus. motherfuckers are brainwashed. You got dudes who are millionaires, billionaires. Their one sole desire is to meet Trump. And then you got the ones who are closet Trump supporters. They act like they're independent, or they act like they're moderate, or they act like they're Democrats, especially the ones who act like they're Democrats. They got a large Democrat following and stuff. And they be posting stuff about Trump, affirmative stuff about Trump all the time. And they try to act like they're really not a Trump supporter, but really deep down inside, they want to put on that MAGA hat. I think a lot of it is people are more infatuated with power than they would like to admit. A lot of people are more infatuated with power than they like to admit. And it doesn't matter where that power comes from. It doesn't matter if it's a 79-year-old spoon-fed, spoiled, hateful brat, reality star turned president, or a suburban rapper who pretends to be hard. As long as that person has some type of perceived power, they want to be around him. They want to take a picture with him. And let me tell you something about power, fam. Power is only as powerful as the people who give you power. If the people take the power away, I don't care how much money you have nothing. You have zero power. Bankrupt Barry, you got jokes. Turn your cap lock off, player. Dino, what up? Exploring Mimi's world together. Amazing love, what it do? African pride, what it do, my brother? Or my sister, I don't know. If African pride, are you male or female? I don't even know. I should have been asked that question. OSU, what up? Okay, I got you. Okay, I had it right. Marcus Gray, what it do? Matthew Ford, what's up, DC? Hey, I want to hear them boos again. Y'all want to hear the boos again? Let's hit some boos. Let's hear the boos again. This is the opposite of Sally Fields. Remember when Sally Field gave her acceptance speech? What was it? What was it like? The Golden Globe or something like that? No, it was the Oscars. She won Best Actress. And Sally Field said, "They love me. I mean, they like me. They really like me." This is the opposite. They hate me. They really hate me. Check this one out. And here's that speech again.
Let's have another round of applause for all the individuals as they embark on the next chapter of their lives. Thank you for...
Wait a minute, what happened to the speech? Cut off short.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 45th.
Please raise your right hands. I, and state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Let's have another round of applause for all the individuals.
The ones that's in there clapping that's got tickets to the game, they're like, shit, my family got food. All them other fools out there hungry, ain't getting them SNAP benefits. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Shit, we eating over here, baby. We eating shit, man. Shit. Trump. Hey, man, appreciate that, man. You know, ever since you've been in office, man, I've been stealing all kind of stuff off the job, man. And with no fear. You know, my boss is a Democrat. Trump like, hey, take his number. If he has any problem, if the Democrats try to sue him, let me know, we'll bail him out. Man, those boos remind me of when I was at Barack Obama's first inauguration, and people were booing once George W. Bush passed the baton. You know, it was time for him to go. So he was there. He was actually at the ceremony, and he and Laura and his daughters, I think it was his daughters too, they got into the chopper, and, you know, they flew off. Well, as they're getting into the chopper, as they're walking toward the chopper, man, people bust out singing. I don't know who started it, but they started singing "Hit the Road, Jack." And it was loud. So imagine, man, it had to be 2 million people out there. So imagine about 2 million people singing "Hit the Road, Jack," and "Don't Come Back No More." Yeah, that's what they was doing. Hit the road, Jack, and free them cold. Yeah. And I thought that was the worst it could ever get. I had no idea. Nobody had any idea Because you would think that, because everybody, a lot of people considered Bush to be a little slow. A lot of people thought that Bush wasn't that smart. And so when Obama came, everybody was like, okay, we back on track, at least for a president being competent and, having some type of class, right? At least we back on track with that. And then came Trump. Good Lord. Talk about lowering the bar. Right now, the bar is so low to the floor, it can't go no more. Yeah. And here's the scary part. What was it, 70, 80 million people voted for him or something? What was that number like? Let's see. What's the numbers, man? Come on. Trump received, allegedly, because I still believe that they fixed the election, Trump allegedly received 77,302,580,000 votes. Let me back up. 77,302,580 votes. That's how many votes he received. That's what's scary about it, fam. Knowing what type of dude he is, he's been accused by many women, over a dozen women, of sexual assault, including a girl who was 13 years old at the time, who said that he violated her after telling her that after she told him she was 13, she said that he picked her out because she was 13 and she reminded him of his daughter. That's what the woman said. Yet, tens of millions of women still voted for him, which lets me know that y'all not really that serious about victims of sexual assault like you claim you are. A 34-time felon who can become president, but I can't run for city council and I got one felony. Well, actually, I got two. Oh, do I got 30? But I ain't got 34. Whatever it is, I ain't got 34. You dig what I'm saying? Come on, fam. That lets me know this is all one big lie. People be acting like, oh, we don't want him to be there because he has a criminal history. We don't want him to do this because he's been, he's a woman, he's a sexual assaulter. He violates women, he rapes women, he does this, he's that, he's a thief. He's corrupt, and Trump is everything that they say they hate, but yet they voted for him. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing about another candidate as long as you live. You can't tell me nothing about another candidate. I don't believe that Trump, when it's time to pass the baton, if he's alive, I don't believe that Trump is going to show up for his successor. I don't think he's going to show up. Number one, he's not a good team player, and he don't have that type of class. He don't have that type of class. So I can't see him showing up here. He didn't show up last time. You say we got some MAGA fools in here. I'm not afraid. I don't care. I'm not you know, I'm not against having conversations with MAGA, right? I can have a conversation. We can have a conversation. Just don't come in here being disrespectful. We can talk. They can disagree with me. I'm not tripping on that. We can be polar opposites as long as the foundation of the discussion is rooted in respect, the same type of respect that you would show if you saw me in person. If we was in person, just give me that same kind of respect. Don't hide behind the internet. Don't talk slick behind the internet. Don't act tough on the internet. Don't say things that you wouldn't say to my face. Because we know a pair of lips will say anything, but it's different when somebody can reach out and touch you. What's up, Jason? JJ, what it do? God not done with you yet. That's true. Half of them probably did vote for him. Eric Cherry say, but I bet you Negroes gonna cash that check. First of all, any money that come through is already the Negroes anyway. Negro. That's first and foremost. So it ain't like he doing nobody a favor. He ain't doing, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Whenever they send a stimulus check, fam, the stimulus check is to stimulate the economy. It ain't to stimulate your life. It ain't to help you. It's to stimulate the economy. It's to keep the economy going. So he's trying to help himself more than he's trying to help any single individual. And at the end of the day, it's the people's money anyway. Any money that comes from the government is funded by the people anyway. They're going to stroke a $2,000 check, but the people going to still be behind $6,000 or $8,000 or $10,000. It's just a one-time check. It ain't like, and hell, most people have bills in excess of $20,000, in excess of $2,000 a month. You got, dude, what is it, like 3.7? What was it, 3.7 million? Oh, no, that was his first, under his first presidency. But over 1 million jobs have been lost in less than a year. Over 1 million jobs since he been back in office. Over 1 million jobs lost. Not really lost, eliminated in less than a year. And speaking of cashing the check, a lot of the same people, especially black people who run in their mouth about reparations, no reparations, their ass is going to be the first one to cash that reparations check when it comes. And it will come. It will come. Remember, it was a whole lot harder to end slavery than it is to stroke a check. That was people who never thought slavery would end. It was just way too it was way too profitable. No way possible they was going to end slavery. And it happened. Reparations are coming. Believe that. We thought that we'd never see a black president in our time. We didn't get a lot out of it, but it happened. Out of nowhere, boom. And that's when reparations going to happen. It ain't going to be no systematic chain of events that make it happen. It's just going to, one day, everything gonna be put in place. All of the chips gonna be put in place, and one thing is they're gonna pull the trigger on it. Boom, here you go. And I guarantee you, all of y'all that's running y'all mouth about, oh man, that ain't gonna happen. We don't need, I don't want no reparations. I can work for myself and da. I bet your ass take that check. And not only black folks, I bet you it's gonna be a whole lot of white folks and Mexicans and Asians trying to claim black heritage. I bet their ass gonna be black when them checks start getting cut. Well, you know, whatever that percentage is that they say you're gonna have to be, I bet their ass gonna figure out a way to be that percentage. Now I'm 50% black. I just look like that. I just look, but I'm 50%. My blood is 50% black. I'm black, man. I want to check too. They ain't got the money. Where they gonna get the money from? They can get it out their mama ass. I don't give a damn where they get it from. Where they got that other $37 trillion from that we in debt? Where they get that from? Now think about that. Where did they get that money? How did they get 37 trillion in debt? You don't get to be 37 trillion in debt without borrowing the money from somewhere, getting it from somewhere. So borrow what you need to write the reparations check. Yeah, they got money for everything else. Anytime they need money for something else, they got the money just like this. They go in that room, come out, boom, here you go. Cut and check just like that. They don't take no time. 40 billion over here, 100 billion here, 60 billion, 20 billion. They ain't got no problem cutting checks. Cut the check, sucker. Yeah, they got it. They just don't want to cut it to black folks because the goal in this country has always been to subjugate black folks. This is why when black folks do make it, when black folks do get ahead, I'm very proud to see it happens because I already know the traps that are out there. I know how hard it is. It ain't the regular hard. Other people got regular hard. It's different. Black folks got hard on top of hard. It's different. They don't like when you tell the truth like that because they want to believe that everything is equal. They want to believe that they got everything on their own merit. They want to believe that they're equally as talented. They want to believe that. And don't get me wrong, individually, some people are. But there have been no group of people in the history of civilization who has been as resilient and talented and educated as black folks. Even in slavery, you had educated black folks. Would sneak and read the books. JX say you remind me of a new age Al Sharpton. How? Let me see what you're thinking about JX first before I answer. Before I give a full-blown answer. Explain yourself. How do I remind you of a new age Al Sharpton? Because I ain't never heard that one before. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. That's what I wanted to know. Okay. And just like that, that uncivilized mud got banned. See, what's interesting is, I ain't never even considered myself nowhere near remotely like an Al Sharpton. I always looked at Al Sharpton as something different. See, this is what happens, fam. This is what happens a lot. If you speak out against this system, if you speak out against this wicked ass system, and you take up for black folks, you will be attacked. Now, while Al Sharpton has took up for black folks many times, Al Sharpton to me is one of those dudes who only take up to get so he can get some money. You see what I'm saying? Like, and Al Sharpton is also the type of dude who try to talk black people down when they're ready to ride. I ain't talking nobody down who want to ride. You dig? Al Sharpton might take a brick across his head. You hit me with a brick, I am going to put your ass 10 feet deep. Al Sharpton counts on his foundation and donations to his foundation to keep on doing what he do, and checks from victims to speak at funerals and stuff. This is what I heard that part. I ain't never in my life charged somebody to go speak at a funeral. And I don't make no money off my foundation. Zero, zilch. I got businesses, got stocks. I got the podcast. And the podcast ain't even my biggest thing. It ain't even my biggest thing. You know, when talking about money, you know what I'm saying about? So I make my own money. But what they try to do, they try to shame you in hopes that you'll stop bringing this type of stuff up, in hopes that you'll just bow down and bow out. That's what they try to do. They'll even have the nerve, if you talk about racism, if you are critical of racists, they got the nerve to call you a racist. I'm not even saying targeting people who are making generalizations. I'm talking about if you just talk about specific racist acts, they got the nerve to try to call you a racist. See, what they want you to do is to be silent so they can be comfortable. Ain't gonna happen. I know y'all motherfuckers. I see you. I know how you operate. I know how you get down. You can't get me like that. If you are a black person in this country and you ride for your people, if you're the type of black person who ride for your people, they are going to come for you. In fact, a lot of times, the people that come for you first is going to look just like you, because you got black gatekeepers out there. And their job is to try to discredit you so that people don't listen to what you have to say, so that people don't support your movement. Their job is to discredit with misinformation, plant seeds of doubt, so that people will not follow you, so that people will not support you. Can't get me like that. See, I've been too consistent. I've been on the same time since 1989. First album, Controversy. Go look it up. Go look it up. I've been the same dude in terms of coming with that same kind of energy. I've been having the same energy since I first came into the game, rapping. There ain't too many people out there who's been that consistent. I'm going on 40 years, 4 decades of consistency. So they got these bootlicking Negroes out there, these coconuts. Their job is to locate Black people who Black people love, who Black people support, who Black people follow, and they try to discredit them. They did it to Malcolm, they did it to Martin, they did it to Frederick Douglass. You know, they did it to everybody. Every single Black leader who's ever rose, who's ever had some influence, they've done that too. They run the same play over and over and over and over and over again. And instead of people questioning the source, they question the person that's doing the work. Not even understanding that you can make a lot more money being a sellout than you can riding for your own people. Right? You can make more money not supporting Black folks. You can make more money being against Black folks because these racists, they pay fast. You ain't got to ask them for no money. You ain't got to ask them for no donation. As long that boy, they'll do anything to maintain white supremacy. They'll do anything. So they'll even give you some money, you little chocolate coconut nigga. They'll give you some money. If you're going to talk down about Black folks, ooh, especially if you talk bad about Black women, ooh, man, they're going to pay you. They're going to give you some money. They're going to give you some money. Now, because they give you some money just means that they're paying you to do their bidding, but they don't respect you and they don't trust you. But they will pay you to do the job. Sold not for sale. They can't give me a dime because I don't want nothing from them. I ain't got nothing for them but a bunch of pain. Pain and disappointment. That's it. Serena, what's up? Shark Theory 07, Shark Theory 07. What's up? What's up? Bin Laden's chopper, where you been? Yeah. I ain't seen you in a few lives. Yeah, fam, when I ran for city council, you know, I had to win in the bag, but because of my record, they wouldn't let me serve. It was like, well, you can win. Anybody can run and you can win. But with that record, we can't let you serve. We ain't gonna let you sit down. So I went ahead and bowed out. But I had to win. I had to win. It was easy. It was slam dunk. I was killing them. When I was running, though, the first opposition you're going to come into is your own people. The first opposition you're going to come in contact with are your own people. Even if you live in a small town in America, if you live in a small town, and that small town could be predominantly Black, it could be damn near everybody in that town Black. If you are a Black person who people feel is sincere and love Black people for real, they're going to sick another Black person. They're going to sick a coconut on you. to try to discourage you. I'm going to try well, they'll try to discourage you too, but they're going to try to discourage the voters from voting for you, because their job is to maintain the status quo and never, ever, ever allow Black people to rise. That's the goal. State to state, city to city, town to town, neighborhood to neighborhood. That is the goal. So your first opposition, and anybody who's listening to me, who's going to listen to me in the future, that if you run for office, or if you ran for office, you know what I'm talking about. I guarantee you can relate. Your staunchest critics are going to be Black. The Black gatekeeper, the status quo, the shuck and jiver, the do-nothing politician, the do-nothing activist. That's going to be your biggest contender. But I wasn't tripping. I wasn't worried about them, because I know they're nobodies. I know they ain't shit. I know I'll stomp all over them. I'll crush them. So I swat them like flies. Like, get your little small thinking nothing. Get up out of here. All right, come on. Come on, establishment. I'm ready. I know what y'all coming with. Come on, let's go. That's how you got to handle them, man. You got to stomp on them. Expose them too. You got to expose them. A lot of gatekeepers, a lot of do-nothing people, gatekeepers, they look just like you. You don't even get a chance to, you be focused on white folks and you focused on the Latino and all. Man, you got to get past your own people first. You got to get past them first. Some of them are going to be your biggest problem. They're the ones who are going to be hating first. They're the ones who are going to be calling around telling people not to vote for you. When I was running, I'm going to tell you how, if you think the industry you're in is competitive, if you think you got snakes in your industry, ain't nothing like politics. I was on a phone call with a person. I'm trying to say this without exposing the players. But I'm on a phone call and I'm talking to a playmaker in Houston, a political playmaker, right? I'm on the phone with him, talking to him. And he's telling me about one of my opponents. One of my opponents who's being endorsed secretly by an associate of mine. Follow me. Well, this associate is one of the type that see you, smile in your face, and hey, what's up, man? All that, right? Yeah. The opponent who I've seen in the past, and I know, he's my opponent. He's a political opponent. I know the dude from being around, shook his hand a few times, very cordial with him and everything. He was, cooler than a fan, right? But he get him on a three-way call. I'm on the other end, muted. And he on the phone. Yeah, man, ain't nobody gonna ain't nobody gonna do this shit, and they're not gonna vote for him because such and such, and da and And I'm like, I'm not even worried about him because I know I'll mop the floor with him. I'm not even worried about, he's not even remotely a threat. But I said that to say how people smile in your face and they got the knife ready to stab you at any moment. This politics, whoo, man. You got to watch everybody. Your opponents, you don't even have to watch your opponents as much as you have to watch your associates and friends and the people who you think is cool. You got to watch them way more. The people that smile in your face, you got to watch them way more. The people who are in politics, who you have relationships with, who don't call to give you any advice, the ones who call you and tell you to drop out. Hey man, won't you drop out and let's such and run for this position instead? Why are you telling me to run for a different position? I want this position. What's so coveted about this position? Why should I run for this position? And sometimes they try to get you to run for positions that don't have as much power as a consolation prize. It's a cold game, fam. It's a cold game. That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all joining live. I'm gonna do a few more shout outs before I shut it down. 1973, El Dorado. What up? Mabel S. Yort Systems, IT Solutions, LLC. Yeah. What up? Say you got to start somewhere. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. But why not start as high as you can start? If you can run for president, your first time out running for political office, and you think you can win, why not run for president? Donald Trump did it. Why not run for president? Why are you running for city council? Why are you running for a position on the school board if you can run for president? If you want to be in politics, why not run for president if you think you can win? Why are you running for state rep when you got a good shot at being the governor? Yeah, see, I'm really careful about people that try to tell people to stay in their lane or hey man, don't think too lofty, don't try to go too big, and all. No, man, go get it all. Get it. Who? Roy Jones. What's up? Antoinette, what it do? All right, fam, that's my time. I appreciate y'all joining live. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world.